Hello! My name is Nancy Ribak Altadonna, and I teach 9th grade global history in Brooklyn, New York. Today, I'm going to introduce you to the Big History Project. I am here as a member of the Instructional Committee at Fort Hamilton High School, the largest public non-specialized high school and largest zone high school in New York City. Currently, we have 5 world history teachers and 5 earth science teachers using the Big History Project as a curriculum toolkit in their classrooms. Those teachers made the decision to implement the innovation tool after they opted into professional development sessions led by Big History Project and with the permission of administrators. By experiencing the success of our pilot program, we are expanding our adoption of Big History to all 9th grade history teachers and earth science teachers. As a teacher ambassador of Big History and my school, my goal is to persuade you to adopt the usage of this powerful curriculum in your school and across our network. This presentation is aimed at curriculum leaders in our consortium of New York City high schools. The decision-making body includes instructional planning committees and interdisciplinary committees. Members of these groups include administrators, world history teachers, earth science teachers, instructional designers, department chairs, and coaches. Teaching is intense. It's not that 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. cakewalk that people think it is. Nobody just hands you a textbook and you're all set to leave your work at work. Being an effective teacher often means taking your work home with you. Teaching requires lots of energy, tons of preparation, oodles of creativity, and so much more. Dedicated teachers spend long hours planning and prepping for class, grading student work, developing classroom management skills, communicating with parents, and so much more. Teachers follow many protocols for content skills and magically make this all happen by being resourceful and working really hard. The Big History Project, or BHP, is transformational in your classroom and will give you more time to make your own personal history bigger. Big History is a social studies course that spans 13.8 billion years. It integrates interdisciplinary insights to form one story that helps us understand people, civilizations, and how we're connected to everything around us. The Big History Project is a free online social studies course for middle and high school students. You can run the course over a full year, semester, or adapt it to your needs. It provides teacher-generated lessons you create on your own using the content library. Everything is online, so content is always available, current, and easy to use. The Big History Project helps teachers meet Common Core ELA standards as well as the new state standards which came out in ESSA, Every Student Succeeds Act of 2015. BHP begins from the ground up, starting with the learning outcomes and including assessment and lesson activities. It is an extremely user-friendly technology with a lot of support. After you register on BHP, you find a teacher console, which is your home for the course management. There, you can add students or invite students by a join code or email invitation. In this console, you'll find teacher resources, a quick start guide, an in-depth guide, sample course plans, an overview of standard alignment, and more. Once your class is set up, you can even track student progress, view student scores, and perform other administrative tasks. All materials, including slides and handouts, are available to download. For Google Doc users, please note that Big History Project is fully integrated with Google Docs. More than 1,000 teachers are already using Big History Project. BHP teachers are supported by an active community of educators, course contributors, and staff meeting online via the BHP website and in person at events around the country. BHP teachers are using a plethora of platforms to build a professional learning network. Often, big history teachers are accessible in real time with Facebook, Twitter, and an active blogging community. If you are a Microsoft 365 user, you can enjoy access to the innovative BHP community of Yammer. With all the false information on the internet, it can be difficult to find trusted resources. It is important for teachers to use reliable tools from experts in the educational space. Big History Project was co-founded by Bill Gates and Professor David Christian. It is a joint effort between teachers, scholars, scientists, and their supporters. Bill Gates is providing ongoing program support to establish the Big History Project and prepare it for free public access. One of the most powerful, innovative services that comes with your free Big History Project membership is called BHP Score. This service will significantly reduce the time you spend grading essays and help students become better writers. Instead of waiting days or weeks for results, students use BHP Score to receive immediate feedback to help them understand and implement the expectations of the BHP writing rubric as they write. BHP Score is a real-time writing tool. According to many teachers, BHP Score is a vehicle for writing workshops and student-teacher conferences in ways that were never possible before. The role of educators is not replaced here. Instead, it creates a user partnership when teachers are able to sit side by side with students and strategize together. Research shows that clear, consistent feedback empowers students to grow as writers. Big History Project partners with TurnItIn, and they created another free writing tool for your students. It's called Revision Assistant. Since BHP's curriculum is inquiry-based, the end of each unit asks students to write an essay which they call an investigation. These activities start with a driving question, including a collection of related source documents. All units contain customizable and differentiated reading content due to their partnership with Newsela. Newsela provides primary sources, reference texts, essays, and more. All of the reading content from Newsela is accessible at 5 reading levels so that every student has their own unique entry point. Big History includes selected world history topics in support of local standards in New York State, California, and other regions around the world. Teachers, we know you're resourceful. However, instead of scouring the web in search of lesson materials, engaging activities, writing support, and content when you would rather be doing other things in your life, Big History Project provides you what you need to teach effectively and give you more free time. You can watch an 18-minute TED Talk by the creator of Big History Project. In this TED Talk, David Christian narrates a complete history of the universe from the Big Bang to the Internet. It is a brilliant introduction to a powerful curriculum source.
People have always asked the big questions. How was the universe created? Why does it work the way it does? Why do we find ourselves on this tiny planet, buzzing with life? Looking at the really big picture revealed unexpected connections. If you want to know about humanity, you have to ask about the whole universe. These questions fascinated me even when I was a kid, because they made me feel I was part of something absolutely huge and quite wondrous, and I wanted to know more about it. I began teaching a history course that began with the Big Bang, 13.7 billion years ago. I called it Big History.
Big History is my favorite course of all time. It blurs the boundaries between science and geography and history and literally tells the story of the universe. David Christian made it so intriguing. I loved his course and wanted to talk to him about how can we make this available to more people.
Together, we're creating a free, online and in-class course for high school students.
Big History is the first class that I can actually say I've enjoyed history in.
You study this huge spectrum of history.
Like looking at the different theories that different people have had.
It's the history of everything on a very broad scale.
And it's more than just this textbook that's static.
Whenever I go to class, I really enjoy the discussions that we have.
It's just made me feel a lot better about school generally.
By the end of this course, you'll have surveyed the whole history of the universe, and you'll know how you fit into it. So let's get started.
Just as Big History explores the evolution of people, using BHP will help you and your students evolve. Currently, we have 10 teacher ambassadors actively using Big History at our school. The data shows that the students are more engaged and their writing has greatly improved throughout the course. Next year, we'll be rolling out the materials on a wide scale throughout the school. My school's curriculum committee urges you to follow in our footsteps. Your schools can experience the successes that we're seeing. Along with the Big History Project's team of trainers, our school, Fort Hamilton High School, will help support you in your adoption of BHP. Let's start with a pilot program at your school. To begin this initiative, we recommend a series of district-wide professional development sessions so we may support your 9th grade world history and earth science teachers adopting this free and successful innovative tool. There's a great deal of theory and research which goes into the adoption of these tools. The diffusion of innovation theory seeks to explain how, why, and what rate innovations spread. Everett Rogers explains it as a 5-step decision-making process. In this presentation, I demonstrated the first 2 steps of knowledge and persuasion. It is now up to you to make the decision, implement the technology, and confirm if it works. The adoption of new technology is beneficial to you and your students. Everett Rogers developed and published a finely tuned update of the diffusion of innovation theory in 2003. His literature has become one of the most cited sources in diffusion research and serves as a guideline for the implementation of new solutions. The knowledge stage. This is the stage when an individual or decision-making body gains an awareness of the innovation and gathers a basic understanding of how it functions. From 2008 to 2013, this innovation was driven via online exposure and collaboration needed for successfully educating our youth in the digital era through the following occurrences. In 2008, Bill Gates becomes interested in Big History when he hears 98 lectures by Dr. David Christian. In 2010, the International Big History Association was formed. From 2008 to 2011, Gates and Christian collaborated on lectures, strategy sessions, and project design. By 2011, BigHistoryProject.com launches to the public. In that same year, David Christian presented an 18-minute lecture outlining a global online delivery of a classroom-tested course aimed at 9th grade students. This presentation was part of the Bill Gates curated Knowledge Revolution section in the 2011 TED Conference. From 2011 to 2012, the initial pilot program was launched in 7 schools. Also, the Big History Project team held conferences in Sydney, Australia, and Seattle, Washington. They established a framework for developing a school-based curriculum and outlined a structure for planning specific lessons to be trialed in classrooms. Teachers are developing lessons for their specific schools at this time, and these lessons help to develop the resource base to facilitate the teaching of the course internationally. From 2012 to 2013, the second piloting phase began, and the release of the free online curriculum, which is at bighistoryproject.com. Rogers defines the persuasion phase as when an individual or decision-making unit forms a favorable or unfavorable attitude towards the innovation. The persuasion stage of 2011 was when David presented the 18-minute lecture at the TED conference. Rogers defines the decision stage as when an individual or other decision-making unit engages in activities that lead to a choice to adopt or reject the innovation. From 2014 to the present, the decision stage to use Big History Project is made at local levels. Over 1,000 teachers have joined the community, and it is constantly growing. Rogers defines the implementation stage as when an individual or other decision-making unit puts an innovation into use. The implementation stage in this innovation is happening from 2014 to the present, and the number of adopters is steadily growing. The final stage is the confirmation stage. Rogers defines the confirmation stage as when an individual or other decision-making unit seeks reinforcement of an innovation decision already made, but he or she may reverse this previous decision if exposed to conflicting messages about the innovation. From 2014 to 2019, the online community hosting resources is a success. Teachers are comfortable with sharing ideas and utilizing resources developed by peers, experts, and other contributors. The learning platform connects educators and learners as more resources and tools are developed and utilized. The project continues to grow through online channels and international conferences. As a Big History participating school, your interdisciplinary collaboration will promote positive social change. Big History Project teachers foster a culture of curiosity in their classrooms by embracing their role as lead learners. BHP will help you and your learners to boost scholarship, systematic thinking, reflection, practice, collaboration, advocacy, civic engagement, and humane ethics. As a Big History teacher, I can attest that it has transformed my teaching practice, and I am in good company at my school and worldwide. My school community has achieved critical mass, and we're excited to take it to the next level with other New York City schools. Curriculum leaders, I urge you to start a pilot program to determine if the adoption of BHP fits at your school. Whether you or your teachers decide to teach the entire curriculum over a full school year, or use various tools and resources that suit your particular needs, you will experience positive change that comes with awesome innovation, and it won't cost you a dime. To join the community of educators using Big History Project, please go to bighistoryproject.com. And remember that Big History Project is free, online, and awesome. Thank you for your time and consideration.